It's curious how a single direction on a map can carry so much meaning. When we talk about Europe, East is never a neutral term. For centuries, Eastern Europe has been labeled unfairly, seen as poor, backwards, or unsophisticated. The reasons for that reputation are complex, and Poland sits right at the center of it. Reading about Polish history can be emotionally taxing, yet its story is absolutely worth exploring. Many think Poland's troubles only began in the 20th century between Soviet and Nazi occupations. But the country's role as a battleground of empires stretches far deeper into history. Remarkably, despite countless attempts by neighboring powers, Poland survived, and its resilience is fascinating. To understand Poland, we need to go back to the medieval era. Beyond the reach of the Roman and Holy Roman Empires, Poland's recorded history truly begins with Duke Mieszko I, who embraced Catholicism in 966 and expanded his duchy across the northern European plain, from the Baltic Sea to the Carpathians. His son, Bolesław I, negotiated with Emperor Otto III to establish a semi-independent church structure, adding bishoprics and an archbishopric in Gniezno, the capital. Bolesław crowned himself king, but then split the kingdom among his sons, an attempt at decentralized governance that instead created competing duchies. Over time, the kingdom would reunify and fragment again in 1138, remaining divided for nearly 2 centuries. During this period, society became more dynamic, with merchants, farmers, and nobles scattered across towns and estates, while the church assumed a central role in education and cultural leadership. Even in these early centuries, seeds of Polish nationalism began to appear, largely through the church advocating for unity under a single crown. Poland's population also evolved as German settlers from the Holy Roman Empire and persecuted Jews migrated there. In 1264, King Bolesław V granted Jews personal freedoms, a rarity in Europe at the time. Later, King Kazimierz III expanded these rights kingdom-wide, encouraged immigration, codified laws, introduced a standardized currency, founded the first Polish university, and recovered territory lost to northern and eastern invaders. His reign marked a golden era of consolidation and progress. Through political marriages, Poland later united with Lithuania under Queen Jadwiga and Grand Duke Jogaila, converting the Lithuanian state to Christianity overnight. The combined Poland-Lithuania faced threats from the Teutonic Knights, yet triumphed at the Battle of Grunwald in 1410. By the late 1400s, local assemblies of nobles emerged, forming the Sejm, Poland's early parliamentary system. The Renaissance brought art, ideas, and economic growth, and figures like Copernicus epitomized Poland's cultural golden age. The Union of Lublin in 1569 formalized a bi-federal Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth with a shared monarch and bicameral parliament, but separate armies and treasuries. It was one of the most unique governments in Europe, a semi-democratic monarchy amidst rising centralization elsewhere. The Commonwealth became highly diverse, home to Poles, Lithuanians, Germans, Jews, Belarusians, Ukrainians, and Tatars, practicing multiple religions. Yet, Poland's position at Europe's crossroads also made it vulnerable. Invasions, wars, and plagues in the 1600s weakened the state, and the Sejm's liberum veto, intended to prevent absolutism, became a tool for foreign interference. By the 1700s, neighboring empires, Russia, Prussia, Austria, capitalized on Poland's political paralysis, partitioning the country in stages until it vanished from the map in 1795. During the 19th century, Poland existed culturally but not politically, channeling romantic ideals into art, literature, and uprisings. The church remained a cornerstone of Polish identity, while thinkers framed Poland as the Christ of nations, a martyr state awaiting rebirth. Polish territories under Russia, Austria, and Prussia experienced differing degrees of autonomy, oppression, and cultural assimilation. Millions emigrated primarily to the United States, keeping the spirit of Poland alive abroad. The 20th century brought both catastrophe and resilience. World War I allowed Poland to regain independence, but conflicts with neighbors, Nazi and Soviet invasions, and the Holocaust brought immense suffering. 5 million Poles perished, including 3 million Jews, while the intelligentsia and clergy were systematically targeted. Despite this, the Polish resistance remained formidable, contributing to critical Allied victories like breaking the Enigma Code and fighting in the Battle of Britain. After World War II, Poland became a Soviet satellite. Communist rule was harsh, yet reform and resistance endured. The church played a central role, and the election of Karol Wojtyla as Pope John Paul II inspired a nation. The Solidarity movement of the 1980s, backed by the church and international allies, ultimately helped dismantle communist rule by 1989. Poland's history is cyclical, tragedy and triumph, destruction and revival, repeating across centuries. Its resilience and cultural identity have persisted through invasions, partitions, and ideological battles, making the story of Poland one of Europe's most remarkable sagas.